Good evening.
So today's topic is how to design your life your way. Just a few minutes back, everybody agreed that we all want to be billionaires, right?
Yeah.
Do you know the date today? It's 18 July. What is special about this date?
In Chinese, 1/8 means more money.
Wow, great.
Wow.
Wow. But it is 199th day of the year 2018.
Wow.
And if sitting today on 199th day of this year, you are still wondering how to accomplish the goals that you set for this year, or you are still wondering what destiny has in store for you, what fate has in store for you, and you're still lagging behind the goals, let me tell you that there are 166 more days left to this year. And with these number of days and the 3 insights that I'm going to share in next 20 minutes, you can cover up those goals, you can become a billionaire, and you can attract whatever you want in your life, be it health, wealth, money, success, happiness, or whatever it may be. So are you looking forward to these 3 tips?
Yes.
Shall we proceed?
Yes.
So like I said, today's topic is how to design your life your way. There are 3 steps that how we can design our lives if we have to take that control of our lives. And the first step that I'm going to talk about is, before you design your life, you have to design your thoughts. It may sound absurd or it may sound weird to some people, but then whatever life we are living today, whatever business we have, whatever relationships we have, whatever life we are living today has been attracted by us. It is just a reflection of our past thoughts. So whatever good is happening in our lives or whatever not so good is happening in our lives is just a reflection of our past thoughts. Because anything that has to come in existence here has to first manifest in our thoughts. So something which you can see in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And that is why we all realize here how powerful these creative visualizations that we do here in Tajurba are. This happens with something known as law of attraction. Now what is law of attraction? It is a universal law which exists here, whether you believe in it or you do not believe in it, whether you understand it or you do not understand it. It's like gravity. It just exists, whether you understand how gravity works or do not understand, whether you believe in it or you do not believe in it, but it really exists. And law of attraction says that like attracts like. What does that mean? Any thought that you have in your mind has a frequency. And when you create a thought in your mind, that frequency goes to the universe, attracts everything that has the same frequency like your thought, and it brings back everything to you in the form of people, objects, circumstances, situations. So whatever you think, you actually get that. There is another significance of this thought, okay? So there's a lot of buzz about power of subconscious mind. I'm sure everybody would have heard subconscious mind, but what exactly is subconscious mind? So our brain is basically divided into 2 parts, conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And conscious mind is the logical mind, which does all the reasoning, whether this is right, this is wrong, this is stable, this is hot, this is cold. It is doing the reasoning. But there is something known as subconscious mind which has no reasoning power. So basically, half of your mind does all the thinking, whereas the rest half of your mind does not do any thinking. So what does this rest half of your brain is doing? It is following instructions. But what instructions is it following? So conscious mind takes inputs from various sense organs. We all have 5 sense organs. So conscious mind is taking inputs from various sense organs, and based on these inputs, it is creating opinions, it is creating thoughts because it can do reasoning. What subconscious mind does, it takes these thoughts as input and it just follows it. It does not think whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether it should be done, whether it should not be done. But the thought that has been created by the conscious mind is an input, like a seed, to the subconscious mind. So unknowingly, or jokingly also, if sometimes you say, oh, I'm so stupid at this, subconscious mind take that as an input and it works. It says, okay, my master wants to be stupid, let me make my master stupid. So it works to make you more and more stupid. Subconscious mind is all the more active when conscious mind is at rest. That is when you're sleeping. So when you're sleeping, you would realize your body is still working, right? So there are a lot of body functions that are still working, like your brain might be at rest, but your digestion is working, your heart is beating, your nails are growing, your hair is growing. So who is controlling all this? Subconscious mind is controlling. So imagine if it is the subconscious mind which is keeping all of you alive, how much power does it have? So taking the thoughts as an input, it can really manifest your dreams into reality. But the key skill here is to understand how to use this power of subconscious mind. It really controls your life. So the good news is, because subconscious mind is controlling your life, what if you control the subconscious mind and you tell it what to do so that you get what you really want? So the good news is we can control our subconscious mind, but the sad news is that others are controlling it. You see, from time to time, a lot of people, whether it's astrologers or whether doctors or whether it's just neighbors or colleagues or your family members, everybody is putting suggestions and opinions in your minds. And unknowingly, we keep on repeating those opinions, and most of the time others are just giving negative thoughts, right? And we buy these negative thoughts and we just keep on repeating in our own minds. So although we try to be positive, but what to do if others are putting negative thoughts in our mind? Our subconscious mind is just buying that. We all have a monkey mind. That means it is always thinking. When it is always thinking, that means we are always creating something in our life, right? So what happens when others are giving these negative suggestions to us? Our mind is constantly auto-playing those suggestions. Like, for example, let me tell you a story. There was a person who wanted a miraculous power of walking on the water. He wanted to learn this power, and somebody suggested that you go up to the Himalayas. There's a saint there who would teach you the secret of this power. He went from south to the Himalayas, and he went to the saint and he said, I want to learn how to walk on the water. The saint said, why do you want to walk on the water? Because this is such a useless skill. Today you might walk on the water, tomorrow you might have boats. Then it will be like a completely useless skill, right? He said, no, I really want this and I want to learn this skill. So the saint said, okay, I know the secret to how you can walk on the water. You do one thing, go back tomorrow morning, take a dip in the water and come to me. I will tell you the secret. The person went back, next morning took a dip in the water, came to the saint, and the saint said, I'm going to give you a mantra. The mantra is Astoma Sadgamya. Recite this mantra every morning 3 times and do it for 30 days and you will be able to walk on the water. But the only condition is that when you're chanting the mantra, you should not think of monkeys. While going back, the person said, the saint was so stupid. He gave me this formula for free. He didn't even charge. And what kind of thing he's saying? Why will I think of monkeys, So next morning he got up, he took a dip in the holy water and sat to recite the mantra, and what came to his mind?
Monkeys.
So he went back, took a dip in the water again, and he again sat to chant the mantra, and what came to his mind again?
Monkeys.
And after 30 days, he went back to the saint. He said, forget the supernatural power of walking on the water. Just take these monkeys away from my mind. So you see, because whatever people say, like for example, I love eating mangoes, but somebody said mango has a lot of calories. Now, whenever I eat mango, the only thing that comes to my mind is not the taste or not the nutrition or vitamin C or whatever, but the calories. So the moment I create these thoughts in my mind, what I'm not taking the nutrition of the mango, what I'm only taking in my body is the calories of the mango. So the only way to control these negative thoughts that people are putting into your mind is to create abundance of positive thoughts. And just to let you know, which is a good news for everybody, that positive thoughts are 100 times more powerful than a negative thought. So to overpower hundreds of negative thoughts that seep in every day in our minds, you just need one positive thought. But to create this positive thought, we have to create an affirmation and we have to repeat it every day for ourselves. Creating affirmation is also an art, but again, that's a huge topic, so probably sooner I'll have a session on that. Maybe you guys can attend that. But moving to the second point, that once you have... Yes, sir, please.
First of all, tell us about mango.
Mango.
What is the positive thought to remove that calorie thing? Because I have to suffer with that.
The mango is very rich in vitamin C, and mango has a lot of fiber, and mango is healthy overall.
And mango
This is the affirmation.
Mango is healthy. Mango is healthy.
Okay, mango.
Short and perfect affirmation for mango. Right. After we've created the thoughts and universe is working to create what we really want to, what is the next step? The next step is if we really want to design our life our way, we need to design our day. Unfortunately, good days do not happen by accident. We ourselves have to take responsibility of them. 1.5 years back, I was struggling with my work and nothing seemed to work in my personal and professional life. And I really did not know what to do. And at that point of time, I got up one day and I said, I have to really do something about it. Nothing is going right. My life was all haywire. So I got up one day, went out and hired a personal fitness trainer for myself. Well, for two reasons. One, because I was gaining weight and none of my clothes would fit me, and somehow a fitness trainer was more economical than changing the entire wardrobe because clothes are really expensive these days. But most importantly, I knew that I cannot fight the war against the entire world unless I fight the war with myself. I had to create a discipline for myself because self-discipline is the root, is the key to all other success. Whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's business, whatever we want in life, it is the self-discipline that is going to get us there. And one of the powerful ways of creating a discipline in your life is to have powerful mornings. They say if you can have a good morning, you can have a good entire day. So, but what happens is these days, the moment we get up, we roll out of the bed and we instantly reach out to our cell phones. And once we reach out to our cell phones, what we see is emails, messages, notifications that have popped up overnight. When we do this, what we are entering is into a reactive mode. And we are responding to the priorities or the requirements of other people. Whereas in the morning, we have to be in a proactive mode if we have to be really successful. What happens when your computer is overloaded with data and a lot of things are happening on your system? It gets slowed down, right? Hangs. Same thing happens with the human body because there are a lot of things that happen during the entire day. We make a lot of decisions, we make there are a lot of situations, mood fluctuations, emotions that we undergo throughout the day. But we have a natural refresh button which is put in our human body, which is sleep. The moment we sleep, our refresh button gets on, and when we get up in the morning, we are fresh and we start with a clean state. Now that freshness, that activeness, that focus which we have in the morning has to be put in a constructive manner to fulfill our priorities, right? We need to work on our priorities at that point of time in the morning, not somebody else's priority. So starting a morning is very important, and creating a routine does not mean that there is a set routine that I can give you right here. Get up at 4 o'clock, do this, do that, go to the gym at 6 o'clock, and no, it cannot work out. Because you are unique, your routine, your discipline pattern has to be unique. You cannot just copy somebody else's. We, especially in India, we like to copy things. We like to imitate people. यहाँ पे तो मतलब किसी के बाल अच्छे होते हैं तो लोग शैम्पू पूछ के वही यूज करने शुरू कर देते हैं. मतलब we don't even think that our texture of the hair is different, our body is different, or probably everything is different. But then we try to imitate others. So just because your neighbor is getting up at 4 o'clock, or just because your colleague is going for a morning walk at 5 o'clock, does not mean that you have to do it. But the key here is to identify what routine really works for you, and once you identify it, you stick to it. And even if you are not a morning early riser, even if you're not a morning person, everyone has a morning. Everyone has a morning. It can be 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. But the first hour that you get up is very crucial for you. And the third and the last and the most important thing is, if you have to design your life, you have to design yourself. What do I mean when I say you have to design yourself? The next slide, which is just one slide, will explain it very well, which says you can't pour from an empty cup. If you have any responsibilities, any dreams, any wishes, if you want to do something for yourself, for the country, for the nation, for the universe, for the family, for your spouse, for your children, you need to take care of yourself first. And you have to invest in yourself, which is the key, right? And when I say you have to invest in yourself, you have to invest in your learning, but most importantly, you have to invest in your well-being. You have to eat right, you have to exercise, or whatever it takes to keep yourself in balance, and that is how you will be able to take forward your responsibilities well. It might be the weirdest advice that I'm going to give you right now, but my advice to everybody is, be selfish. I tell everybody to be selfish. It might sound really rude, weird, or whatever, but then the truth is that it ultimately starts from you. Everybody should have non-negotiable rules for themselves, and these rules should be followed in whatever condition we live in. Even suppose I have a non-negotiable rule of getting up at 5 a.m. whether I'm traveling, I have a flight at I had a late night flight, or probably I'm traveling for a marriage or whatever, but some rules that have to be followed in whatever conditions, and that is because it is for you, it is not for someone else. It is all about you. And the last thing which I want to say is, self-love is very important, because it all begins with you and it all ends with you. Unless you take care of yourself, you would not be able to contribute in any way to anyone else. And for this, we have agreements, we have contracts when we are planning to do something, and when two parties meet, and here the two parties are you and your life. So now I would want you all, if you agree to all the 3 points I have mentioned. Do you all agree to the 3 points that I've mentioned?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So now I would want you to create a life contract between you and your life, wherein you agree to create a positive affirmation for yourself. You mention 5 routine guidelines for yourself and 3 non-negotiable rules for yourself, and you sign it and put in a date. If circumstances change, or because life has its own ways, right? Circumstances can change, or priorities might change. You agree to create a new life contract and abide by the new contract. And now towards the end, I would want to share this contract with you all. Thank you so much.
Wow.